Well, look at this. Looks like this idiot Bob Iger is finally admitting that due to Disney engaging in the cultural war, that their business is suffering. Get a load of this. This article comes to us from Bounding Into Comics, and the report reads, the Walt Disney Company's CEO Bob Iger wants to quiet the noise regarding culture war issues because they are not healthy for Disney's business. Again, Bob Iger is finally admitting that due to Disney engaging in the culture war, the Disney business is suffering. And it all comes back to due to the weird changes of inserting identity politics, making weird sexual changes, all this other nonsense, we are forced to turn away from Disney. And this is a result. Disney is losing big. I mean, we've seen how much money Disney has lost this past year. I mean, look at this. Disney is bleeding out. Box office analyst reports media giant has lost nearly $900 million this past year. Again, Disney has lost nearly $1 billion due to their movies. And let's go over the movies real quick. The Little Mermaid, huge box office flop, made a huge weird change that they didn't need to make, but for the sake of identity politics, these weirdos over at Disney made this change. We can go down the list. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, made some weird changes based on identity politics, inserted political issues that are controversial towards most people, right? You have Michael Douglas over here praising socialism. You had the abomination that was the Indiana Jones movie, where we saw Indiana Jones turned into a joke, turned into a bum, all for the sake of pushing his female co-star, for the sake, once again, of identity politics. And the list continues. We saw it with Elemental. We saw it with all these other movies. They'd have been failure after failure for Disney. And again, this was the result, nearly $1 billion in losses. But it's just not the movies that most people have turned away from when it comes to Disney. The theme parks as well, because I've covered it here numerous times. Whenever you go to a Disney theme park now, they call people friends. They refrain from using boys and girls for woke reasons, identity politics, all that nonsense. And as a result, many parents said enough is enough. We are not going. But it gets even worse than that when it comes to Disney theme parks. Get a load of this. Disneyland cast member appears to dress in drag to greet children at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. This is just another reason why a lot of parents are saying thanks, but no thanks. It's not that we're hateful. It's not that we, have a problem with this particular individual. It's none of that. They just don't want to expose their children to something that maybe they don't agree with, right? Because most people hold traditional values sacred. Most good parents do. And this is not necessarily something that aligns with traditional values, so we just choose not to participate. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But because Disney chooses to get involved in the culture war, chooses to promote stuff like this, they are seeing record loss after record loss. We've seen where the stock price is at when it comes to Disney. It is in the dumpster. And again, Disney knows this. They know that it's because of all these reasons that their company is looking at epic failure after epic failure. And this is why Bob Iger just can't help himself giving out these interviews where he is just trying to cop a plea when it comes to Disney, trying to make all these excuses. And again, as you can see right here, he is trying to quiet the noise regarding the culture war. That's all fine and dandy, Bob Iger, but how about you stop with the bullshit? Stop with the woke nonsense. And it's very simple. The Snow White movie, get rid of it. Stop making changes to classic movies, all for the sake of pushing the woke agenda and pushing identity politics. The Acolyte, that Star Wars project is 100% a Star Wars project solely based on identity politics and pushing the woke agenda. Cancel it. Get rid of it. Get rid of these idiots over at Lucasfilm that made it their only priority to push out the woke garbage, push out films and shows that are solely focused on pushing identity politics. These are all simple things you can do, Bob Iger. But if you want the masses to come back, if you want everyone to come back, apologize to them for ruining the company that so many of us have grew up with. Apologize for that, and I think that would be a good starting point for a lot of us. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think down in the comments, and like always, don't forget to subscribe. Sensational.